It's good, people. It's about that time to randomly relay reverse rants, no hate. So, real quick, Deontay Wilder put up a picture, basically in a different language. You know, he said in English, "I will leave it." He said, "I will leave an eye for an eye," but he said it in a different language. Okay, the eye for an eye part was English. I think it was Russian or something like that. Okay. Now, I have a question because I have some. It's not even questions. It's just rhetorical questions. Okay, think about it. Because I already seen some comments and heard people saying a whole lot of things. Look, first off, for starters, we know Dillian Whyte was talking a lot of shit about Wilder, called him all types of names and all of that. Okay, we also know that Dillian Whyte put himself in a position where when he fought Derek Chisora, and Derek Chisora himself even said this, that he was supposed to fight AJ at Wembley. We all knew this. He didn't like the offer. He declined, fought somebody else for even less, which made no sense. Okay. Now, Dillian Whyte has been number one and was said to be mandatory even before, right? For well over 1,000 days. He's being called a clout chaser for wanting his shot. So, is Dominic Brazil or Bernas de Verg more deserving than he is? Now, we know with Deontay, he can land that right hand, he can end it for you. Dillian Whyte can end it for you. AJ can end it for you. Tyson Fury can end it for you, even though he's not known to be a big puncher, but at the same time, he can end it for you too. Povetkin can end it for you, okay? You guys talk about in heavyweight boxing, all it takes is one punch, but then when somebody gets knocked out with one punch that you want to lose, you emphasize on it like making fun of that fighter as if it only took one. Now, when you say what you think would have happened if you would have fought this guy, that guy, first off, look, it's a different fight. And you sound stupid trying to put Wilder in it because Wilder don't knock you out with uppercuts and hooks. He simply hits you with the right hand. Now, he might finish you with a hook, something like that, uppercut, but, basically, it's everything with him was the right hand. Jab, right hand. Regardless, it's a whole different fight. It's a whole different fight against Fury. And the thing is, y'all make it sound like that Dillian Whyte was getting his ass whooped. He basically was winning the fight comfortably. And, I think they was exaggerating as far as, put it like this. There's no way of us to know that, they're saying like, oh, if the fight would have went on, eventually the next 2 rounds, he'd have knocked Povetkin out. You don't know that. He already dropped him twice in the 4th, and he still got knocked out. Povetkin took his. He couldn't take Povetkin's, right? Okay. Do that left hook. He tried to throw the right hook, and he tried to throw that hook, and he got caught with the right uppercut, with the left uppercut, and he got knocked out. Okay. Basically, they all have a loss now, except for Fury. Okay. So for these channels that's even talking about bringing up how AJ stock went down, he lost, and what's his name? Dillian Whyte stock just went down. Y'all make it sound like Deontay didn't get his ass whooped. And the thing is the difference. Just like you said, but they stopped the fight. The towel was thrown in for Deontay. Right. But he was getting beat up from round 1 to the round that they stopped it in. He was getting beat up bad. Dillian Whyte wasn't getting beat up. He got knocked out. And this isn't against Deontay. This is not against AJ. This is not against, no. Look at the facts. You guys always say one thing like you forget what happened. AJ came back and won his title back. So now we're going to see if Deontay can. We're going to see if Dillian Whyte can come back and get his, get his position back where he becomes the mandatory again. We're going to see. If he can, he can. If he can't, he can't. It's that simple. Okay? But all the talk about clout chasing, no. When you want your shot, you earned your shot, you deserve it, and you getting blackballed. And you guys are talking about clout chasing no, look, it's boxing, man. So what is he supposed to do? Sit back with his mouth closed like Luis Ortiz and let life pass him by in the boxing world? Because Luis Ortiz is not getting any younger either. Luis Ortiz was never world champion. So what do you expect the man to do? In this situation, what I think is the more people keep talking and trying to push false narratives. Like, look, let me give you an example of something, right? I seen this video, they're talking about how, Povetkin, they wanted to check the gloves, Dillian Whyte's gloves, and make sure that he wasn't cheating and all that, right? Do you guys realize that this happens in boxing often? This is not something new, but these channels want to make you think that, oh, it's because we kept making videos and making it known that Fury cheated and this and that. That's why. Okay, let's go back to Floyd Mayweather. When he's standing right there with Leonard Ellaby, with Robert Garcia, and it's like, nah, ain't no funny business going on. He's like, we're not accusing y'all nothing, but we ain't wearing these gloves and y'all not wearing them either. Did Floyd not put his hands in the glove and check the gloves and make this? No, hell no. They're not wearing this. Did we not see the same thing with Floyd Sr. and Leonard Ellaby? It's like, ain't no pad in his glove. Hell no, we're not wearing them gloves. This is not something new, people. But you see, people forget that. Here's the thing. I put this on a video, one of my own. So, I mean, you guys, this is something you can do yourself. You can go right here and see this for yourself. Now, another thing. Okay, so before I get into that, stop letting these people lie to you and put these false narratives in your head. Well, see, it's because of us. No, this has been going on in boxing. This is not the first time. This has been going on for years. Do we forget even when Ray Leonard fought Hagler, they made a mention that Ray Leonard chose the size ring and chose the gloves that they were going to wear? That's what the A side does. But regardless, A side, B side, whatever, you can say, no, man, I'm not comfortable with those gloves. So all of this, so all of a sudden we forget that. You know how many years ago that was with Marcos Maidana and Floyd Mayweather? And Floyd been trying to clean up the sport. That was his whole thing. I want to make sure that nobody's dirty and that nobody's using gloves that are made to do permanent damage. Simple. So now all of a sudden these sports channels, these boxing YouTube channels are all of a sudden now responsible for cleaning up the sport. No, this has been going on. This has been going on. This is not nothing new. We have that on video, so you can see that. So what all of a sudden? No. And you see these little sheep. Oh, all of a sudden now everybody want to check gloves. No, this has been going on. See, you guys don't understand that. And another thing, when they're talking about what this guy should have did or shouldn't have did, look, when you make a decision and it works against you, you have to live with it the same way you would if it worked for you. You got to live with that. Okay, and if you can't make a situation better, it is what it is. But for you to sit and tell somebody what they should or shouldn't do and how much money forget the money. It ain't about the money. It's about being the best. It's about this and this and that. Forget the money. I don't care about the money. Let me show you how these guys are hypocrites. Every time these guys do a live stream, what do? Tell y'all they hit that Patreon. Yo, this and this and this. Y'all want to donate to the channel? I appreciate it. Donate. No matter what they say, they constantly talk about the Patreon. You hear the Patreon. However long that video lasts, you keep hearing them talking about donating to the Patreon, right? And they're always, I got breaking news. I'm not going to talk till we get these numbers up. All right, we got to get to okay, look. All right, so we get to 1,000 people, I'm going to start talking. Come on, people, we need this. Right, they have it for a reason, right? So it's about numbers and it's about their Patreons. If not, would they be sitting here doing this for free? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? These are the same people trying to tell another man what he should or shouldn't do. How it's not about the money. But they mention the fucking, listen how many times the word Patreon come out their mouth when you sit there donating to them. Now they're going to sit here and talk about it's not about money, but they're taking your money. Yet, but it's about being great. Yeah, well, you know what? Also, when you giving news, it's about being great with giving accuracy and talking what's real and not giving your opinions as facts. It's cool to say I think or I believe, but see, even in that, it's self-exclamatory. For the listener, you should know, well, this is just their opinions. But they're trying to control the narratives. I've heard those words come out their mouths. We control the narrative. No, you don't control the narrative. You control the narrative of your sheep. This is why when people don't want to buy into what you're saying, people getting their little feelings and, y'all Uncle Tom's and y'all cheering for the same white man that don't. Like, first off, I don't cheer for anybody. And because we don't believe what you say, because the fighter that's the victims are not saying anything about it. all of a sudden they need you to play babysitter for them, and because we're not hearing it. Like, look, do you guys think about this, right? The picture that Beyonce put up, it said, "I believe in an eye for an eye," right? Do you think about it, he has nothing to say when it comes to himself losing, the reason that he feel like he lost or whatever, he don't want, he has so much to say about other fighters. But in this situation where you have a guy calling you names and calling you out and trying to get that shot with you, right? You mean to tell me that he's more concerned about trying to embarrass Dillian Whyte or responding to Dillian Whyte, or to pretty much say like karma came back and got you, or whatever it was he was trying to say? You think that's something to address, but you're not going to address the same guy that all these people claim bust you upside your head with a metal object, put a dent in your head, got your water poisoned, huh? That you're not going to address that, but you're going to address what? See, because it's not coming from Deontay. That's why. None of that came from Deontay. I'm not even going to dig back into that. But it's about the simple fact these guys say things that they make hypocrites out themselves. Just with their actions, and all you got to do is just observe. But it's like you so caught up being fanboys and nut huggers that y'all don't see through the nonsense that they talk. This nonsensical bullcrap. And just to educate you little idiots, when you're calling somebody an Uncle Tom, what you really are trying to call him is a Sambo. See, Uncle Tom wouldn't tell on the slaves, he wouldn't beat them, he wouldn't rat them out. Okay? So the slave master's story, okay, to the little sheep that followed them, is that he's not a good slave. You understand me? He's not obedient. He defied what I say. Sambo was there to make sure that Uncle Tom did what he was supposed to do. Okay, like the movie Django. Remember Samuel L's part? That's Sambo. That's what Sambo did. Because they couldn't trust Uncle Tom to follow their orders. So when you're calling somebody an Uncle Tom, you're too dumb to even realize what you're saying. Do your homework. Do your homework. And grow up, because basically, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know how other channels handle it, but me, I just basically block and delete you. I don't even respond to what you say. It doesn't matter to me. I got thick skin, baby. Ain't no baby over here. Ain't no kid over here. I'm a grown-ass man. So just like, you know, all of a sudden now, yeah, Aries is a Uncle Tom, right? Kurt DeVille, counterpunch boxing, he's an Uncle Tom. Boxing Waves Uncle Tom, Two Hands is Uncle Tom, IBFP is Uncle Tom, you know, Showbiz the Adults are Uncle Tom. Anytime somebody don't feed into y'all nonsense, with their Uncle Toms, nobody's cheering for anybody. You know, you never once heard me say, oh, Tyson Fury wouldn't do that. He wouldn't, no. I can care less about that. And like I said before, is Muhammad Ali an Uncle Tom for letting the white man train him named Angelo Dundee? Evander Holyfield, Lou Duva, is all these guys Uncle Toms for letting the white man train them? Is Buddy McGirt an Uncle Tom for training Arturo Gatti, a white man, to fight black fighters, and then telling why his white fighter is better than that black fighter? Are they Uncle Toms too? And for all of you that got kids with orange hair and blue eyes, you're not even married to a black woman. You're not. Yes, people don't even live in America. That's black, live in other countries. You don't even live amongst your black brothers and sisters, but you talking all this black. You jump in the bed with anything that don't look black, but yet y'all want to talk about Uncle Toms. You're not even married to somebody that look like you. You know, what's your life like? So when you look in the mirror, don't see other people, see you for who you are. Keep it boxing. That's all I'm going to say on this. Catch y'all on the next one.